Bradberry, we ain't asking for a lot. All we're asking is the opportunity to match any offer.
Dallas still stinks.
You're by the way, King Dingbat here, and guess what? It is Howie Vision. We're all just living in it, and James Bradberry is about to find out, because you may think we're going to lose our entire secondary, but Howie's got a plan. He's got a course of action, and all he needs is a chance. A little tiny Mark Holmes of a chance, if you know what I mean. But before we get into it, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the most censored, most throttled, pause, Eagles content creator in all of the internet. We are going to be covering free agency every single day. It is going to be crazy. Draft also, the whole entire offseason. You don't want to miss it. And if you've been subscribed for a while, I just want to say thank you so much for all your support. Just double check, double check. Make sure that you're still subscribed and there's no shenanigans going on. All right, we got a lot going on. As you guys know, we are on the verge of legal tampering, which starts tomorrow, meaning that teams can then start to negotiate with players, even though free agency hasn't technically started yet, okay? So this is like the eve of free agency. And the question has been for the Eagles, like, what is the plan, right? It's been like that because it's been really, really quiet. We've gone through pretty much, you know, everybody on the secondary, Darius Slay, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and now James Bradberry. What are the Eagles' intentions? What have they been thinking all along? Well, we're starting to see that this team does not want to lose all its players. They're trying to retain some of these guys the best they can with the little amount of money or cap space that they have. They can only do so much. And what the Eagles need now is they need a chance. They need guys who aren't homegrown guys, who weren't drafted with the Philadelphia Eagles. They need these guys to want to make a decision to give the Eagles an opportunity to retain them, okay? These players can easily leave and go get more money elsewhere. But if they feel connection to the city, if they look at this team and this roster and the quarterback that they have, and they say, wow, this is a young team, I like it here. Just give us an opportunity. Just give us a chance. That's all we're asking for, okay? And apparently, that's exactly what Howie Roseman is saying to James Bradberry. There is a possibility James Bradberry may come back. It's slim. I don't know how it's going to happen. But if C.J. Gardner-Johnson doesn't work out, maybe Bradberry comes back. Or if the Eagles somehow decide to move on from Darius Slay, maybe that opens the door from James Bradberry. I think James Bradberry had a great year. I don't understand. I do understand it. People are mad at him because of the hold and what happened in the Super Bowl. But I'm sorry. He was pretty good this year. I thought he was a good corner for us. And I would like to have him back for a year or two, okay? But is it going to be possible? I don't know. I don't know. But I do know this. The Eagles are asking for an opportunity from James Bradberry himself to allow them to at least look at his contract and match an offer, okay? Here's what Josina Anderson said, okay? According to MLF Football, says, at Josina Anderson spoke with the Pound Eagles Pro Bowl quarterback James Bradberry on his impending free agency. Philly wants the chance to match any offer Bradberry receives in free agency. And here's what he said. He said, quote, I know there's definitely interest from the Eagles. I would love to play for the Eagles. I definitely see how bright the future is for the team. I'm just waiting to hear on the exact terms from them. I believe they're also waiting for the market to tell as well, because I'm also anticipating interest from other teams too. So they told me, whoever calls, just make sure I also give them a chance. And that's James Bradberry saying that. So Bradberry is basically being asked by Howie Roseman and the Philadelphia Eagles brass, listen, Go see what you're worth. Go see what you can get. But give us a chance. At least give us a call and give us an opportunity to match it. To me, that's telling you the Philadelphia Eagles, they want James Bradberry back if it's at all possible. And they probably also are not sure how crazy this market is going to get. Because we've seen it like last year where players get way overpaid. I mean, look at Christian Kirk with Jacksonville. Jacksonville had to overpay in order for him to even consider going to Jacksonville. So you don't know how the market is going to shape up, but the Eagles want that opportunity. And listen, I think that's a good thing. I think the Eagles are trying here. They're trying to do the best they can with, with all the roadblocks that they have in front of them. So what I love, I mean, in a perfect world, I would have loved to have Darius, Bradberry, and C.J. Gardner-Johnson one more year, draft a rookie cornerback, have them play under those guys. It would be great. I feel like this. You're going to lose Javon Hargrave. I think we all know that. I mean, they're talking $20 million a year for him, and he's probably going to be the highest paid defensive tackle. So I don't see any chance that he comes back. But the Eagles got to be thinking to themselves, we got to try to keep some people, Aaron Wilson said this: several free agents, defensive tackles are poised for strong paydays, including pound Eagles Fletcher Cox, pound Vikings Dalvin Tomlinson, pounds Jets Sheldon Rankins, pound Saints David Onyemata, and pound Seahawks Poona Ford per league source. And then he goes on to say in another tweet about Hargrave probably going to get somewhere in the $20 million range. Matter of fact, here's the tweet itself. He says, the highest end of the remaining pound NFL defensive tackle market expected to go to pound Eagles Javon Hargrave in $20 million to $22 million neighborhood per league source. So the Eagles, as much as I would have loved to have him back, they just can't afford it. You can't afford it. But if you could somehow get C.J. Gardner-Johnson back and a Bradberry or something like that, which is probably very, very hard to do, but if you could do something, it would be great. And I think number one priority still is got to be C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Because of his age, you have to get him back. But I like the fact that this cat keeps speaking another language. But I like the fact, I don't know if you can hear the cats just going off, but I like the fact that the Eagles are at least asking for the opportunity to match. That's all they can do. I mean, I don't know what else Howie can do in this situation. The only thing they can do is open up cap space with Darius Slay. How is that going to work out? I don't know. Because even though Slay would love to stay in Philly, would love to play in Philly, he wants an extension. He doesn't want to just restructure. He wants extension. He wants more money. He wants to be... Come here. Sorry, cat. But he wants to basically get paid as one of the highest corners. So how's it going to work out? That's the question. And we talked about this in the last video. Can Darius Slay... can the Eagles get any value for Darius Slay? You think about Jalen Ramsey went for a third and a backup tight end. I don't know that you can get that much for Darius Slay, but apparently, some people think that you can. Get this. And shout out, Pound Big Sills, he says this. Take this for what it's worth. We'll talk about it in a minute. Let me read what it says. Eagles are talking to the Atlanta Falcons on a potential trade that would send pound Darius Slay to Atlanta for a second-round pick. Pound fly, Eagles fly. Let me say this. I can't see, even with my eyes closed right now, I can't imagine any way in which the Atlanta Falcons would be stupid enough to give the Eagles a second-round pick, especially when you just saw what the Dolphins gave for Jalen Ramsey. If the Eagles could get a second-round pick for Darius Slay, do it in a second. Do it in a second. And that's not to mean I don't like Darius, because I do. But if it frees up money to sign C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and you're going to tell me I have another second-round pick, then yeah, you got to do it. It's hard to believe that that's true or that could happen. But I'm putting it out there because it's out there in Twitter land. And, you know, you hate to not say something and then all of a sudden it comes true and you say, well, why didn't I talk about it? So you cover all your bases. I don't know that I think that's going to happen. I don't see it happening. Darius Slay for a second-round pick. Why would the Falcons, a team really that needs a rebuild, why would they want a 32-year-old corner who you're going to have to give an extension to? I can't see it happening. But, I mean, hey, listen, we'll find out. I do know this. The Eagles are trying to figure a way to make it work. They're trying to figure a way to get C.J. Gardner-Johnson back, maybe Bradberry. And at least they're trying, and we'll see how it goes. We got to be patient. We got to wait. We got to see. And, yeah, it's going to be interesting. And let me tell you, these updates are going to be coming. I'm going to be Mark Holmes and you for the next week during this, especially this first phase of free agency, because there's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about. And as soon as I get something, and as soon as I can sit down and bring you a video, I promise you I will do that to the best of my ability. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. Man, you can tell this coming week is going to be crazy, man. This free agency is going to be nuts. There's going to be a lot of teams making a lot of moves. And I think, and we've talked about this before, and I'll probably talk about this more again in another video, but we've talked about how the Eagles really dictate a lot of what the NFL follows. You look at teams like the Chicago Bears, the Carolina Panthers. These, in my opinion, they are trying to copy the blueprint for how the Philadelphia Eagles built their team. Look at the Miami Dolphins. Look at Vic Fangio there. They go out and they get James Bradberry to go with Xavier Howard. They're following the blueprint what the Philadelphia Eagles have put out there. This is why you don't follow the herd. You don't follow what everybody else is doing. You don't listen to the narrative of, hey, guess what? We don't draft running backs in the first round, because if we draft running backs in the first round, that's stupid because nobody else does it. That's the narrative. No. We have to create the path. We have to stay ahead of everybody else. You know what I mean? They zig, we zag. That's what works in the NFL. That's how you win. That's how winning's done, as Rocky would say it. But you know what I'm saying? In all seriousness, the Eagles, you look at these teams and what they're doing, they're copying the Eagles. And the Eagles need to stay ahead of everybody. With that said, Denzel Washington out.